Hi everybody, it's Tom from FindTheBestCarPrice.com, and on this beautiful sunny day here in Northwest Louisiana, we're going to take a look at the Cadillac Escalade. And in all honesty, I could tell you that it's a 2022, but it's actually a 21. But it doesn't matter because there's not that many differences between the 21 and the 22. A few additional safety features, minor changes. So let's take a look at what we have here. It's really nice that after the debut of the Escalade in 1999, it was just a rebadged Tahoe. That's all it was. It wasn't specific. It wasn't really all that special compared to what we have now. Let's take a look at what we have here. The large Cadillac grille. You're only going to see this on these Escalades. Obviously with that Cadillac badge there in the center, when you pull up behind people, they're going to know what is behind them. They won't be scratching their heads trying to figure out if it's a Tahoe or an Escalade, right? And then when you look at just the overall flow of everything, of course, I like the surround here with that gloss black, but I like the way that the headlights just kind of flow off here. It looks like it should be there. It looks intentional. I really like that overall look of how everything just flows together. And then you've got the very nice looking turn signal indicators right there. Got those turned on. I hope you know how to use your turn signals when you're driving down the road so that people can see that when you're driving down the road, whether it's here in the front or in the rear. And let's work our way to the side here. It'll be kind of easy to see here. I hope the sun's not a problem in the background, but you've got the side marker lights right here. That just looks right. It looks nice. And then we've got our heated power folding side view mirrors right here, turn signal indicators built in. Now let me show you something real quick. There is an option where you can go into the infotainment screen, and when you lock the vehicle, these will fold in. But just so you can know that they are power folding side view mirrors, I'm going to hit the button real quick and let you see that in action just so that you know. And overall, a very nice vehicle, passive entry right here. All you do is just kind of touch that. It's really nice. You don't have to push an actual button. But one thing I do like here that separates these Escalades from other family members from the General Motors family is that you don't pull on the door handle, you just push on the inside right there. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, so I'm not gonna ask Carrie to show you that right there, but I like that. And here we have the side steps, just the main side, the regular side steps there. You don't have the power side steps, but obviously you could get that if you wanted to. And a lot of gloss black all over the vehicle. Got the surround trim on the windows. That makes it look really nice, especially with the window tint. This being a used model, it's gonna have a little bit darker than what you would normally get from the factory. But the main thing I wanna show you about real quick is something a lot of you might wonder about. If you're wondering, maybe you want to buy a vehicle that's really large like this, but you're thinking, what about gas mileage? What's under the hood? Well, let's answer that question. Okay, under the hood of this model is going to be the standard engine, the 6.2 liter V8. Now you can get the 3 liter diesel engine, but here we have the 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque V8. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. What about those MPGs with such a large vehicle and all that horsepower? 15 miles per gallon city, 20 out on the highway. But I think if you're going to buy a vehicle of this size, you probably already know it's gonna be a little thirsty. And as far as the tire size, 275/50, and that 50 represents the size of the sidewall right here, and that's really important because the taller that is, the more absorption power it has. That's why if you ever ride in a vehicle that has those low profile tires, it has a pretty rough ride because there's nothing to absorb the bumps as far as when the tires hit them. They surround the 22-inch wheels right here. Okay, before we hop into the rear cargo area, there's what your remote's going to look like. Show you the back as well with that Cadillac logo right there. What about towing capabilities? You can tow up to 7,700 pounds here. So, one thing I do like here is that you don't have the rear window wiper out in the open. It's concealed right up here. That's always a good thing. I'm surprised more high-end car makers don't do that. Even on some of the six-figure numbers that we see on some of these cars, they don't do that kind of thing. So let's take a look at the easiest way to get in here. You can use the remote. There's a button in the interior, or you can just swipe your foot right here and let that open up. I'm going to let Carrie get a good glimpse in there for you of the interior while I tell you what the cargo numbers are. They're going to range between 25.5 all the way up to 109.1 cubic feet. So let's talk about how you can maximize cargo space. We'll work our way around like this. So the set of buttons right here are for the rear seats, and then these in the front are for the middle row seats. And here's the difference between the two. You can raise and lower these middle seats with the buttons. You can only lower the middle row seats, but just so you can kind of see how this works here, I'll put down one side. And something that's interesting here is that you have to hold the button down to do that, just so you know. So you don't just push it and have it work. Just so you can see that? I don't know if we saw that on the camera or not, but all I did was push it and it didn't do anything. But if I hold it down, it comes back up. And I'll leave that other seat down so you can see the middle row seats fold down. And we'll take a look at what else you have here besides that area of convenient storage. You have a little bit more underneath here, as you can see. And then if you're saying to yourself when you're back here, I need to power something, where's my electricity? It's right here. You have a household power outlet right there as well. All right, let's work our way into the interior through these middle row seats. So what you're going to notice on the side of the seats, there's two levers. So that front lever is going to be the one that you use to change the position of the seat. Now watch this. I'm going to change the position of these seats on this side. See how far you can move those? That's pretty good, but not necessarily necessary. Before we hop into the rear seat area and I show you what's going on back there, there is your cup holders. You've got some space right here for a cell phone or a few more snacks, and obviously it doubles as an armrest. So I'm going to pull on that second second lever down there that says ×2. So what happens is you pull on it once and you pull on it a second time and it folds right up out of the way. So what I'm going to do is hop back here real quick. There's a reason why I'm putting this back in place if I don't fall over there. So what I'm going to do is hit the button right here on the inside of the door. I'm going to hit it one time, and I'm going to hit it again. And there's a reason why I'm doing that. Let's see if it'll go ahead and go up all the way. Usually they don't do that. They usually go up all the way. But there's a reason why I want Carrie to be able to show us sitting back here in the back seat. Notice I pulled the seat all the way back. Do you see how much leg room I have? There is a lot of space right there. It's very impressive to see how much space the rear seat passengers are going to have. More than I think I've seen in any other vehicle. GM has done a good job here. Cadillac has done a good job. But we're just getting started with what there is to talk about in this back seat area. Okay, so we're going to have all the controls for air conditioning and the heated seats back here. Heated only, not ventilated. They should be ventilated as well. But obviously it's tri-zone climate control with everything you have there. And right here, kind of a convenient little place to put whatever you want to put in there, whatever your rear seat passengers want to put in there. And then down here we have connectivity options, and there's a reason for that beyond what you might expect. It has to do with these screens right here that are mounted to the rear of the front headrests. There is some really cool stuff you can do there. The kids can do there. They can watch movies. It has the connection there for the earphones and all that kind of stuff. They can even check out navigation if they want to. Kind of just a neat little way to keep whoever's in this area occupied. It doesn't have to be the kids. It could be the adults, and they're still wondering how much longer till we get there. Okay, we'll start out here by taking a look at the passenger side door, and the door bin right there, nice and large. You can see there's quite a bit you can do there. A lot of space down there, but if we go back up, we can see the controls for the heated and ventilated front seats. Obviously, you're going to have that for the driver and the passenger. And then we'll take a quick look down here into some of your storage capacity with the glove box. Quite a bit of space there. But I want Carrie to hop in here because there are some really neat features here. In fact, we're going to change hands on the gimbal. I'm going to grab that and show you because it's just such a large vehicle. It's too far to reach over here for him. But there is your augmented reality when you're driving. Kind of interesting. I don't know if that's a distraction or not, but it is there. And right there is that lever I was talking about earlier for those of you who don't know how to use your blinkers. Everything to the right, you push it up. Everything to the left, you push it down. I just don't know how easy it could be. I know you might need oxygen after that or whatever, but you know, your insurance will take care of that for you. Only sarcasm, right? And we've got controls here, steering wheel mounted controls for your cruise control, adaptive cruise control, and other features here as well. I don't have to probably tell you too much about that. And then we've got our shifter paddles mounted here on the steering wheel, kind of baby shifter paddles, but they are there. And then I'm going to hand this back to Carrie and we'll finish up looking here at the infotainment screen. And it's kind of nice that it's somewhat angled towards the driver, but I tell you what, everything is kind of far away. I'm glad I can use my power driver's seat to come up here a little bit closer. So let's see if we can get that to work. There we go. Here we go. Now we can get to where we need to be and take a look at some of the options. You've got navigation there, as you can see, trailering. There is a lot here, and cameras even. So if you want to see around the vehicle, obviously you've got the overhead 360-degree view. You've got the wide angle right there, and obviously a couple more options. And I showed you those side view mirror cameras. Well, that's what the angle looks like when you're looking at what you have there. And you can obviously do the same thing by simply going into reverse, but the good news is in order to use the rear view cameras or any of the other cameras, you don't actually have to be in gear. That is a nice feature. Underneath, controls for the air conditioning right there. There's a lot there to manage. That's a good thing. And then your shifter right here, obviously, that's pretty easy to figure out. Not that hard. There is a button on the left-hand side over here that you push to be able to change gears, go into reverse, go into drive, whatever it is you need to do. And then there is park right there. The knob for controlling volume and turning the radio on and off. Pretty easy to figure out what's there as far as what you can do, going to navigation and different things like that. You can even use all of this right here. If you don't want to actually touch the screen, well, you can hit the home button. You can also scroll your way through with the wheel right here, and when you're ready to select something, you just push down on that, as you can see right there. Just so that you know, we have the cup holders concealed away right here, and a little more connectivity. If you have one of those juice boxes or whatever, fruit drinks, whatever, that's square, it goes right there. And finally, last but not least, well, I'm not going to say last but not least because there is one more interesting thing I want to show you here. But here is the center console, very deep down in there. It's almost a bottomless pit. It's so deep down in there, more connectivity as well. Now, one thing you might ask about is wireless charging, and I think it's a little bit different here than I've seen anywhere else. Wireless charging is right here. I can stick my phone down in there and it will begin to charge. There it is. It came on finally. Just want to make sure that was going to work. I don't know why they didn't put that somewhere up here. That's just kind of interesting, but it is what it is. That's the 2021 Cadillac Escalade. To learn more about the model in today's video, visit the link in the description for a detailed comparison between trims and pricing for the vehicle we featured or any vehicle you may be interested in. These pages feature information such as our recommended trim level based on price, value, and features. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. We look forward to seeing you next time.